What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, and this is a night of first and feats. My first TNA Outlook. Now, I'm not going to make this a review because I haven't really seen TNA in a very long time. I am not familiar with the feuds, so everything I say is going to sound biased. So I'm making this an Outlook. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to the WWE. So honestly, I'm not going to make a review, but it's going to be my first Outlook. So, yay! And actually, I give credit to Daniel from the British Fist, as well as Dustin Dreamboy899. They inspired me to actually start watching more TNA episodes, which is probably what I'm going to do. Starting off with the first match of the night was a match prior to Final Destination pay-per-view. And it was AJ Styles versus Bobby Roode for the TNA Heavyweight Championship, and it was a 5-minute, I guess a 5-minute overtime match. And honestly, I like the originality of the fact that they did a 5-minute overtime match, because you got 5 minutes to pin somebody. That's a feat. Honestly, it did feel a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Like, it didn't feel like it was 5 minutes, but I like the fact that they actually put the timer up there to remind you that it is 5 minutes. So I like that whole idea, that whole aspect of it. The only thing I did not like about that match was the fact that Sting came out to prolong the match to go further, when at the end, wearing down, it was a given that AJ Styles was supposed to lose. So it didn't really make any sense to actually prolong it when the end he tapped out anyway. That's the only issue that I had with this match. Another issue that I had, and I'm not a fan of this, I will never be a fan of this. I wasn't a fan when Kurt Angle did it. And I'm especially not a fan of Devon when he did it. I like me some Devon, but I'm not a fan of personal issues being put in the storylines. I will never be a fan of that. Even if it does bring a lot more flavor to you, even though it does bring a lot more ratings, I have never been a fan of personal issues being put into the storylines. Kurt Angle did it when he had issues with Karen before Karen left him for Jeff Jarrett. Now Devon's doing it with his boys, and now the Pope talks about the fact that his wife left him, and even though it's fictional, I just don't like it when you put your own personal aspect in it. I didn't even like when Shawn Michaels did it in the WWE. I'm just not a fan of that. That's just me. I'm not a fan of that. You should have enough charisma, enough flair in your character to have a different spin on how you portray yourself in the ring, besides throwing your own personal business out there. There may be some facts to it. That may be all fiction. I don't care. I think family should be behind the scenes when it comes to this, and you should be your own character, and you shouldn't be portrayed by your family issues. That's just me. I know the thing is probably fictional, but I was just never a fan of it. That's my only issue with it. I love the Knockouts division. My goodness. WWE needs to definitely start studying when it comes to the Divas division, because it's struggling. It's a given that when I looked at the Madison Rain versus Tracy match, it seems like they put a lot of passion into what they did. They put a lot of passion into their match as a whole. That is one thing that I loved about this, is that they seem like they're real women with real talent, even though they have gargantuan boobs. It still seems like they're just not a bunch of bubble-headed Barbie dolls. Like they literally have talent. And I loved that entire match. I'm starting to become a fan of the X Division. I like Zema Ion versus Anthony Nese. I love that match. Zema Ion, I'm starting to be a fan of him because he has a lot of charisma in that ring. He has a lot of in-ring charisma. And even though it was a bit flashy and very scripted at the end, when he literally did 3 moves on Anthony Nese 3 times without Anthony Nese getting up, it was a given that it was scripted, but he still brought a lot of flair, and it was a huge push for him. I'm not sure how if Zema Ion is supposed to be the top of the X Division. I don't know all that, but I know that it was a huge push for him. I honestly am starting to become a fan of Zema Ion, and I am happy that he actually did win this match. I love the whole aspect of mixed tag. The fact that it's not so much like, it's kind of like of a random tag. I like their random tags. I like it when they pair up two people that don't really that are not usually tagging together, and they just pair them up for the best out of three. I liked it. I really did. I think that is like an entirely different view from what I see with the tag division with WWE. Honestly, I think they should take notes. So I really did like it. I really did. The last match of the night was was Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray. From seeing them in the old WWE days, they still can bring it. Bully Ray actually has a new, different view. I mean, he was always a brawler, but it wasn't brought out more when he was with the Hardy Boys. I mean, the Hardy Boys, with the Dudley Boys. It was more about, pile driving people through tables, which is one thing I actually do miss. I actually do miss their hardcore style. I do miss the Dudley Boys a lot. But Bully Ray is all about being a brawler, and he's a lot tougher than he was when he was with the WWE. I actually like his new flair now. Jeff Hardy, I will always be a fan of Jeff Hardy, no matter what his issues are, and I'm happy that his issues aren't brought out to light. And I'm hoping, I feel like now that him being with TNA, he has a better chance of being a champion for a lot longer time than he did when he was with the WWE. So I really am liking this entire thing. There is nothing about TNA that I hated except for the whole personal spin with Devon and how he put his boys into it, and now his boys are heels. And the fact that Sting came out to prolong a match that was supposed to make AJ Styles lose was the only issue that I had. But the main point of the night was the fact that both Jarretts are gone. No more Karen Jarrett, no more Jeff Jarrett. It's a lot more. It's a lot easier to digest now. I'm so happy that they're gone. They're probably going to be coming back in a few months, but honestly, I am happy that they're gone. Thank you. Thank you so much for leaving. And another aspect that I like of TNA before I close this entire thing is the backstage scenes. Now, unlike the WWE, how they have somebody come and interview someone before they win, after they win, they do that. They did that, I think, once tonight from what I remember. They try to bring the viewers into the storyline from either having a voyeuristic camera angle from a different view to actually make you more immersed into the story to where you're like, oh, you're not supposed to be hearing this, but you're going to hear it anyway. To the fact that there are times they actually kick down the third wall or the fourth wall, like what Kurt Angle did and what he called out Sting. I'm liking it. It actually makes you more invested into their characters. It actually brings you in a lot more, especially what happened after the first match with Bobby Roode and AJ Styles. The fact that AJ Styles talked about he should have won, and he was talking to the camera, and then the fact that Bobby Roode, how he felt about, you had your chance, you lost. I like it. I really do. It's starting to really draw me in, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot more. I'm probably going to be doing a TNA review next time. This time I'm making it an Outlook because I don't want to seem biased, because I haven't seen it in a while. I'm not familiar with the feuds. I do remember some of the characters, especially with Devon and Pope, how they have an ongoing on and off love-hate relationship, but I really am liking TNA, and I'm going to probably watch a lot more TNA episodes now. I'm going to definitely do my best to try to watch a lot more pay-per-views. I didn't really see the last one. I tried to find a decent stream, but honestly, you kind of get sick of having the stupid ads being popped up every single time I'm trying to watch a stream. So if anybody knows a website that is easy to watch without having ads or surveys you have to do in order to watch it, let me know so I can see this stuff for free, especially if it's too expensive to watch. But anyway, this is Nature Girl 30 signing off, and I'm at 100 subscribers. So thank you all. Before I sign off, thank you all for subscribing to me. It's been 6 months, and I finally reached this feat. This is awesome. Thank you all for allowing me to reach 100 subscribers. I am going to do my best to have the best reviews that I can, especially now that I decided to actually start watching TNA. So I'm going to have a lot more objective view to it. But now it's going to be an Outlook, so it's not going to be a review for tonight, but it'll probably be a review for next week. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Thank you all for subscribing to me, and peace out. See you later.